Hey friends, I just got back from Home Depot and I'm working on my spring garden today. Part 2. Part 1 was figuring out how and where I was going to plant everything. So I've got my pots and my planters outside, but I bought seeds this year, so I'm going to start them inside. So let me show you what I bought. I picked up some seeds and here they are. We got some radishes, which we're going to put straight in the ground because they grow quick and they grow down in the ground, so they need more room than we have in our pods. We also got some oregano, cilantro, and basil. We have some peppermint coming up from last year as well as some chives, so we're just gonna let that grow. We also got some green onions. These are great for adding flavor to anything. You can saute them, you can use them raw. I love those for flavor. Some jalapenos for spice, some lettuce. This is a variety of different types of lettuce, which is great for salads. I also found this whole package of 4 different vegetables. They had several different packages like this, but this package we definitely eat all of. So we have green beans, cucumbers, zucchini, and some more lettuce. And we eat salads a lot around here. And they come in these 4 different packs. So that's going to be convenient. Now over here, we bought a greenhouse kit to start out. We got 2 of these. It has 72 little pellets in it each, 72 little growing areas. And we're gonna start our seeds inside. So when you open it up, it has this dome lid, which will go on it after we plant the seeds to make a greenhouse effect. It also came with some plant food, so we'll try that out. It also came with these little labels. So you can just write on the label what you have and stick it wherever you want so that you know what's growing in what pot. Now they also have this convenient little grid on the back, so you can write in each pod what you're growing, or maybe if you're growing like cilantro here, you just write cilantro and draw an arrow down to make it easy to remember what you put where, because they all look like before we put the water in. And this blue stuff in there, that's some fertilizer. So we're just gonna, I just put my sink sprayer on low, and it's warm water. We're just going to spray it in here until it gets about 1.5 inches full. And these little pods are going to start to expand. This is an easy way to start seeds inside, and everyone can help. Everyone in the family can help. Great project for kids. Especially if they're on spring break this week, great time to start the garden. And have them help pick what you're going to grow. The prices in the grocery store these days get higher and higher. This is also going to save you a lot of money. Oh, a few of the pods are starting to float. All right, we better check that out. Let's put them right back where they go. There we go. Oh, that one got off track. There's another one. Okay, now these will keep expanding for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then it'll be time to plant. All right, we're ready for next steps with our garden now. I've taken and soaked the peat pockets, the peat pods, for probably about 20 minutes, and they're nice and thick now. They were about this thick when I first got them, and now they're about this thick, so they're ready for planting. What you want to do is pour the excess water out first. You just pour it right down your sink. That'll be no problem. And what I've done so far is I've planted 2 rows of cilantro, a row of, what else? Basil. So I'm going to show you with the basil how we're planting this. Now I like to pour the seeds in a bowl. See those tiny black seeds, those are the basil seeds. And that way I can control better how many seeds are going into each pocket, because I want to make sure that I get this distributed just the way I want it. Let me show you the cilantro seeds. Those are much bigger, so they were easier to work with. Plus they're a light color, so you can see them once you plant them. And then you can also, you'll have to rake the peat over the seeds just a little bit. So since these seeds are black, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 at a time, and I am going to put them here in one of the little peat pods, and I'm gonna go ahead and rake over it while I'm doing it, just so I know, since they're so dark, that I am getting the peat raked over them properly. And these will grow, I should start seeing signs of life at about 7 days. And then in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to plant them outside. Usually I we plant outside by now in Texas, but the weather has been so cold. Well, cold for us Texans. We had a freeze just a couple of weeks ago, and today is March 13th, which is, we just never see that. Usually once it hits March, we're safe, but not this year. Mother Nature had other ideas. What I like about the herbs is you'll be able to use these herbs all year long, because when you prune them, you want to cut them off the top, use what you need, leave the rest, and it'll regenerate itself. Also, every time I cut the herbs, if I cut a little extra, I can throw them in the freezer, or I can dry them so that during the winter months when I have no herbs outside, I still have herbs to cook with. And they're fresh, and they're growing right here at my house. All right, so we've got all of the basil and cilantro planted. And it came with this little chart, and I've written cilantro, cilantro, basil so far. So I'm gonna write basil on the next row. Draw a line all the way down, and then we'll remember what's planted where. Easy enough, right? And I'm just gonna keep this chart right underneath, because I have two of these. So I'm gonna keep it right underneath this one so I can remember what's what. The last step we're gonna do after we plant all of our plants is put this lid on. Okay, so it has a greenhouse effect after you do that, because there's moisture in there, and everything will grow just fine, and in a few days we'll see things start to sprout, and then we'll move on to watching them until they're ready to plant. All right, now let me know what part of the world you live in, or what state you're here in the United States, and let me know what you plant in your region. I'd love to hear and see what's going on. All right, so I will be back with another gardening video as soon as we're ready to plant.